All right, so this is P4, right? So I'm Mr. Koh here, right? I'm going to go through some P4 questions from my pals are here. So I know that there are some questions, the word problems can be challenging for some of us. So I'm going to go through these questions slowly, but also it's also important that you attempt all these questions first before you look at my solutions. Yeah, you can go through the thinking process, but you should try the questions first as far as you can. Okay, because I know that sometimes the teachers in school, they go through the questions pretty fast. Yeah, and if you go through pretty fast, then it becomes more like a copying session rather than a learning session. Okay, so take this opportunity to practice. All right, you must be able to do all these questions by yourself at the end of the session. Okay, so first of all, let's read the question. Right, Indu has 100 stamps. Clarissa have 78 stamps. Right, how many stamps must Indu give to Clarissa so that they will have the same number of stamps? Now, to do this question, the first thing is this is a word problem, right? We want to turn this word problem into a picture problem. Now, a picture problem is far easier to solve than a word problem. All right, so how do we turn this into a picture problem? Right, to turn it into a picture problem, we use models, right? We use model drawing because model drawing is like a picture. We use rectangles to represent the numbers. Okay, so let's turn this question sentence by sentence into a picture. And we usually start with the first sentence if we can. All right, so let's take a look at the sentence. The first one says Indu has 100 stamps and Clarissa has 78 stamps. Now, are we able to turn this sentence into a model? Yes, we can. All right, why we can? Usually when we draw model, we want to start with the sentence that tells us who has more and who has less. We want to start with the sentence that shows us a comparison. Okay, so usually the sentence must be able to tell us who has more, who has less, or is it because both of them have the same amount. So if that sentence must have this kind of information. So by saying that Indu has 100 stamps and Clarissa has 78 stamps, I know that Indu has more, right? Because I know that Indu has more, so I will start from this sentence because this sentence already shows comparison. Okay, so using rectangles to represent the number of stamps, right? I will have one rectangle for Indu and another rectangle for Clarissa. Clarissa will have a shorter rectangle because she has less stamps. Okay, so after drawing a long and a short, I do make sure that you also label them. This is Indu, right? And the next one is Clarissa. Okay, so make sure that we label them. After labeling, now we want to put in more information. We haven't finished writing down the information. There is this information which says that there is 100 stamps. I want to indicate 100 stamps onto my model. Now, there's two ways of indicating 100. I can either write 100 inside the model, or I can write 100 outside the model. Now, which is better? Now, I will choose to write the 100 outside the model. Okay, I'll write it outside the model like this. And then show that this is 100. Now, why do I want to write the 100 outside the model? So that later, when I need to cut the model, I will not cut the number up. Okay, so I'll put the 100 in, and likewise, I will put the number Clarissa has, 78, and I'm going to draw an arrow. Like that. 178. Okay, That is the first sentence. So looking at this model, as part of model drawing, it is also very important to know that when you are drawing model, you must make sure that they start off with the same length, the same. And you see this, when you have two models of different length, right? Indu and Clarissa, Indu is longer. It's important for you to cut the model so that the models are of the same length. When doing model drawing, it is important to have models of the same length. If they are of different lengths, we need to cut it so that some of the models are the same length. Okay, so and after I cut it, I can now look at this model and see, is there any other information? Because you look at the second part, the second sentence is already the question. There's no more information for me to draw. I've already finished drawing what I can draw, which is the first sentence. So after drawing, I'm going to look at this model alone. I'm just going to ignore the question now at the moment. I'm going to just ignore the question. I'm going to just blank it out. Just by looking at this model, I'm going to think, is there any other information I can find out based on this model? Yes, right? I can see that Indu is actually, I can find out this portion, isn't it? Yeah, I can see how much Indu has more than Clarissa. So I can find out this part by just looking, using, how do I find this part? Yeah. So, okay, so for model drawing also is important to know that if this is 78, now the Indu is the same length on top. So the top must also be 78 because these two models are of the same length. So the length represent the numbers. So if the two models are of the same length, they will represent the same number. Now, if this is 78 and together is 100, right? These two add up together. These two parts will give us 100. So what will the other parts be, right? Simply will be 100. Take away 78 will give me this small part here. So just let's work it out. So using 100, take away 78, that'll give me 22. Now you can also do working. All right, you can do working at the side. So you don't have to do mental calculation. You can do working here. All right. So if I know 22, I will want to put it back into the question. Right, this is 22. All right, so now that I have done this, is there any other information I can find? I think that's about pretty much it, yeah. So I'm going to now look at the question now. Okay, I'm going to erase that and look at the question. And what are they asking? They're asking how many stamps must Indu give to Clarissa so that they will both have the same. So for Indu to give Clarissa so that they will both have the same, I first have to see how much does Indu have more than Clarissa. Now is this part here. Okay, so Indu have, well, look, if you do matching, you see Indu have 78, Clarissa have 78. These two parts they have the same. They have the same. But you see Indu have 22 more than Clarissa. There's these two parts that is 22 more than Clarissa. So for them to have the same, Indu have to take whatever he has more, this part, and share it equally with Clarissa. He have to take 22 and share it equally, which means he's going to cut this, whatever he has more, equally into two parts and give one part to Clarissa so that they will have the same. You have to share. So how much does he have to share? So you're going to give this to Clarissa so that there will be, they will have the same, right? Right, then this will be non-existent. They're going to take this thing and give it to them. So after giving, this part will no longer be there. This part will no longer be there. And you can see both of them have now the same number of stems. Okay, so how much should Indu give? Indu should give, since Indu have 22 stems more than Clarissa, Indu should share this extra with Clarissa. So you should take 22 divided by 2. I'm going to write, right, share equally by 2 equals to 11. So I'm going to just put a division sign here. Oops. Okay. So divide 2. So you should take whatever he has extra and share it equally. So Indu should give Clarissa 11 stems. So after giving 11 stems, there will be 11, 11. Both of them will have the same number of stems, right? Indu have 78, Clarissa 78. Indu have 11, Clarissa have 11. Don't they have the same number of stems? All right. So you can finish off with a word statement. But Indu can give Clarissa 11 stems. Okay, so that will make your answer good. If you don't write to write statements, at least give an answer A and S. You can just write 11. This is also fine. All right, but many teachers like students to write with statement, so you can follow your teacher's requirement, whichever it is. All right. Okay, let's go to question 2. Again, once again, if you have not done this question, you should try first before looking at the solution. Maya had 2,064 more beads than Jenny. All right. So after using, after Maya used 144 beads to make a necklace, she had 5 times as many beads as Jenny. How many beads did Maya have than Jenny in the end? And how many beads did Maya have at first? So again, we want to turn this word problem into a picture problem, right? We don't like to leave it in words. We have to represent this question in a pictorial form. All right, so we turn this word problem into a picture problem. So let's take a look. Which sentence should we start drawing from? Let's take a look at the first sentence. Can we start drawing from the first sentence? Maya had 2,064 more beads than Jenny. Should I start drawing from this sentence? The answer is yes, we can. Why can we do that? Because remember, we want to start drawing from the sentence that shows us comparison, right? From the sentence, I should know who has more or who has less, or if they have the same amount of beads. So this sentence show me that, right? Which word tell me that? Right, is this word, right? More. So by seeing this word more, I know who has more already, right? So Maya has more. So using rectangles to represent the beads, right? Maya gonna have a longer, I will use red. Okay. Okay, use blue. So Maya has more beads. So Maya is going to have a longer rectangle. Here. Okay, Maya is going to have a longer rectangle, and Jenny is going to have a shorter rectangle. So bear in mind that Maya is going to be longer, as well as make sure they are from the same starting point. Okay, so this is Maya, and this is Jenny. So you see, when I am drawing model, I did not draw the model right in the middle. I have an imaginary line. I have an imaginary center line so that my model is on the left-hand side of my imaginary line. Okay, so that I have space for working later, right? More sentences, and I'll have some space for working as well. Okay, so do not draw the model right in the middle of the page. You find that you may not have enough space to do working later. Okay, so Maya have, okay, so let's continue to draw that. Maya have 2064 more beads than Jenny. Now, does that mean that Maya have 2064 in total? No, right? Maya have 2064 more than Jenny. So how do I show that? Okay, so before I do that, you see the model, right? Make sure that you want to cut the model into the same size. You must have the same starting point, as well as cut the model into the same length. This is an important step for model drawing. Model drawing, when you see two models of different lengths, you have to cut it such that the two models have rectangles that are of the same length. And 2064 more, which means this extra part is 2064. I'm going to write down outside. Okay, this is the part that is more. Okay, that's all for the first sentence. That's all for the first sentence. Okay, so after Maya used 144 beads to make a necklace, 144 beads to make a necklace, she has 5 times as many beads as Jenny. Oh, my model wasn't drawn accurately actually. Now, where is 144 beads? Would 144 beads be more than 2064 or less than 2064? Less, right? So I'm going to draw this part here. All right, he's going to use 144 away. So I'm going to take away 144, which I know is less than 2064. So I'm going to take away from here, maybe 144. And I'm going to strike it off to show that it is used up. Okay, and so after she has used up, she has 5 times as many as Jenny. How do I show that? When you say that yes, she has 5 times, this she is referring to Maya. It means Maya is going to have 5 units and Jenny is going to have 1 unit. So 5 units and 1 unit. The second person is always 1 unit. Okay, now I know my model is not accurate, right? But this doesn't matter because when we're starting to draw, we don't know, right? So it doesn't matter. Okay, so I know that Maya is going to have 5 units, so I'm just going to draw 5 units from here to here. That is going to be 5 units. And Jenny is going to be 1 unit. Okay, anything else I can draw? No, that's all I can draw. So now I'm going to just look at the model and don't ignore the question totally. I'm going to just block up the question as much and then just stare at this model. Are there any other information I can find from this model that I have just drawn? Yes, there are. Right, so I know I can see that since Maya has 5 units and this length here is 1 unit, so which means that this part here is actually 4 units and 1 unit, right? Because if the model are of the same length, they must have the same number of units, right? It must have the same number of beads. So if this is 1 unit, which means that this small thing here must be 4 units. All right. And the second thing I can see is if I know this is 2064 and this part here is 1144, am I able to find what is this part? I can, right? It's just simply 2064 take away 144 because I know that this two part will add up to 2064, isn't it? Right? Let me just show you that. Uh, so 44 and 44, it's 4 unit and this 144. These two together will give me the total, which is 2064. Okay, so to find these 4 units, basically I can just take 2064, take away 144, and that will give me what is 264 minus 144. Yep. Here 1920. Okay, so that you can do working at the side if you want. And so I'm going to write it down as 1920. So looking at this model, I know 4 units is 1920. I'm just going to write it down. 4 units must be, since I know 4 units is equal 1920, it is always useful to find out 1 unit. We should always find 1 unit, because once we know 1 unit, we know a lot, we know everything, right? 1 unit, we must always find 1 unit, which is 1920 split equally into 4 parts, right? If 4 unit is 1920, what is 1 of it? Isn't it 1920 split equally into 4 different equal parts? Isn't it? Yeah. So it's 1920 divided by 4. Okay, I'm just going to put it the division sign here. Okay, 1920 split equal into 4 equal parts, split equally into 4 equal parts, and that will give me, okay, do working, that will give me 480. Okay, so you're wondering how I do that? Of course, you can do long division. 1920, right? Divided by 4. Right. So this 480. Alright, now once I found 1 unit, now we are ready to look at the question. What are they looking for? Question A. How many more bits did Maya have than Jenny in the end? In the end, Maya have this amount of bits, number of bits. In the end, Jenny have this number of bits, because Jenny didn't spend any bits, didn't use any bits at all. So how many more we will be looking at this part here, which is the extra part, which is 1920. So for part A, it is simply, okay, so for part A, it's simply 1920. Okay. So part B, how many bits did Maya have at first? So to know how many bits she have at first, I'm again going to look at the model. The model shows that she has, in the beginning, just from here all the way to the end of the model, the whole purple part. So Maya is going to have a total of this 1 unit plus, okay, this 1 unit plus this 4 units, which is 5 units in total, and this 144 that she has used up, right? So to do that, I will just have to do that. Let's go to part B. Okay, to find Maya have at first is just simply 5 units, or 1 unit plus 4 units. But since I know what is 1 unit, I'm just going to put it as 1 unit is 480. Okay, plus 4 units which we found out is 190. So I'm just going to do addition plus 144. Okay, so it's just 480 plus 1920 plus 144. Okay, it's 2544. All right, so how many bits did Maya have at first? It is 2554 in total. That will be answer. So you can just write down ANS. Okay, so I'll just write down here, ANS. Okay, for A, 1920, for B, is 2544. Okay. All right. That's question 2. Let's look at question 3. Question 3. There are 4,568 peaches and mangoes. There are 1,654 more mangoes than peaches. How many mangoes are there? How many peaches are there? So once again, if you have not done the question, you should attempt it first before you continue to watch the video, the solution. Okay, so if you have done it, so let's take a look. First of all, again, we want to turn this word problem into a picture problem, right? So if to turn it into a picture problem, we want to draw a model. Question is, which sentence should we draw first? Should I draw from the first sentence, which says there are 4,568 mangoes and peaches? Should I draw from the first sentence? So the question is, do I know who has more, who has less? We always draw from the sentence where it shows comparison, right? Whether somebody has more, less, or they have the same. Does the first sentence show us who has more? No, right? Now let's just take a look, because I only know there are so many peaches and mangoes, but I do not know who has more. So I'm going to look at the second sentence. Does the second sentence tell me who has more? Yes, right, because there's this 1,654 more. So this sentence shows me comparison. I'm going to start to draw a model based on the second sentence and ignoring the first sentence totally. I'm going to just draw the second sentence and looking at nothing else, just this sentence. Okay, so to do that, we're going to draw a rectangle, one long rectangle which represent the peaches, and the other shorter rectangle to represent the mangoes. Okay, so I'm going to label them. This is the peaches. Label them. This is the mangoes. All right, so once again, model drawing, I want to make sure that the models are of the same, cut the same sizes, right? They must have the same starting point, as well as the model should be cut to the same size. All right, and then that's it. So there's still some information here. There's 1,684. I need to write it down. So once again, I can write it down inside or I can write it down outside the model. I will choose to write it down outside the model. So I'm going to write down here 1,654. Okay, I'm going to write it down outside so that in case I need to cut the model into parts, I will not cut the number up. And that's it. I'm done. I'm done with the second sentence. I am now ready to draw the other sentences. Now, the other sentence that have information that I've not drawn is the first one, which says that there are 4,568 peaches and mangoes. So this is the total number of peaches and mangoes. So I would use this to show the total. And there are 4,560 in total. All right. And that's it. So that's all that I can draw. Now I'm going to just look at the model I've drawn, ignoring everything else. We'll just stare at the question I've just drawn. Is there any information I can find looking at this model? Yes, there is, isn't it? If I know the whole thing is 4,568, and I know that this is 1,654, right? This extra part is 154. I can find each of these box. I'm just going to call this box 1 unit each. Okay, so I know if I if I take this 4,568, if I take away this extra part, right, I will be getting 2 units. Right, so these 2 units, okay, the whole thing is 4568. When you take away this 1654, what you're left with is 2 units. Okay, the whole thing is 4568. When you take away 1654, what you left is 2 units. Right? So I can see that I'll write it down here. So this 2 units is therefore equals to 4568. Take away 1654. And that'll give me 4568 minus 1654. You can do working. It will show you 2914. Right? And if I can get 2 unit is 2914, I can also find, therefore, what is 1 unit. It's always useful to find what is 1 unit. We should always do that, which is 2914 divided by 2. All right, that'll give me 1457. Again, that you should do the working at the side. Okay, you should do the working at the side. All right, didn't do it. You should be doing it here. All right, you should show working like 4568. Take away 1654 equals to, you should get that. You should do the working here. Okay, so 2914 divided by 2. Okay, so you should do working here. All right, so once I know what is 1 unit, okay, I'm ready to look at the question again. What do the question want us to find? The question wants us to find A, how many mangoes are there? Do I know the number of mangoes? Yes, I do. The number of mangoes is simply 1 unit. So I know the number of mangoes, which is just 1457, 1 unit. Okay, so how many peaches are there? Now I know the number of peaches is made up of this 1 unit plus another 1654, because peaches is 1654 more than mangoes. Okay, so let me find the number of peaches. To find the number of peaches, okay, you simply write 1457, which is 1 unit plus 1654. And that will give me 3111. Okay, so you will get 3111 peaches. All right, so the answer for A and B will be 1457. And for part B is 3111. Okay. All right, let's go to question 4. Iskandar had 2016 marbles. He had 3 times as many marbles as Bruce. Tim had 235 fewer marbles than Bruce. How many marbles did Tim and Bruce have altogether? So once again, if you have not done this, you should pause the video and attempt it first before you continue to look at the solution. Okay, so if you have done that, let's study the question. First of all, once again, I want to turn this word problem into a picture problem. All right, I want to turn all these words into pictures like rectangles using model. So how do I turn? Which sentence should I start to draw first? Should I start drawing from the first sentence? Remember that when I draw model, I should start with the sentence that show me a comparison, either the more, less, or same. Whether who has more, who has less, or they have the same. Does the first sentence tell me who has more and who has less? Answer is no. I have no idea how many marbles others have. So there's nothing useful I can draw from the first sentence. I'm going to skip it. Now let's take a look at the second sentence. Iskandar, this he is referring to Iskandar. Iskandar had 3 times as many marbles as Bruce. Does this sentence tells me who has more, less, or the same? Yes, it does. It shows me that Iskandar has 3 times as many marbles, means Iskandar have 3 units. Means Iskandar have 3 units. The first person, if 3 times means the first person is 3 units. The second person always 1 unit. Yeah, 3 unit, 1 unit. So he knows that I know that Iskandar has more, isn't it? So once I know who has more, who has less, I am ready to draw the model. So I'm going to draw a model from this sentence, ignoring every other sentence. I'm going to just block it up. Ignoring every other sentence. Only looking at this one. Iskandar have 3 times as many marbles as Bruce. Okay, so let's draw a rectangle. Iskandar has 3 times, so equivalent to 3 units. So this is important for you to draw 3 units of about the same length. Okay, these 3 units must look the same length. You cannot draw one big, one small, cannot. Okay, so Iskandar and Bruce. So Bruce, I will be drawing 1 unit, which is the same length as that. Okay, and I label that Iskandar and Bruce. Okay, so once you do that, okay, I'm done with this sentence. I'm ready to move on. So the next sentence I can see here is, okay, now which sentence should I draw? It doesn't really matter. They can draw a few things here. Now you can draw the first one already, right? The first sentence says that Iskandar had 2016 marbles. Can I show it on my model? Yes, I can, right? Iskandar has 2016, which is this whole length. This whole length is 2016. Okay, and Tim had 2. Okay, so that's all. So the next sentence I can draw after I finish drawing that, then look at the next sentence. The next sentence says Tim had 235 fewer than Bruce. Tim had 235 fewer than Bruce, which means that Bruce, that Tim, in Tim, will have the shortest rectangle and is even shorter than Bruce. I'm going to just draw a rectangle that's shorter than Bruce. Bearing in mind, they should all start from the same starting point. Okay, and this Bruce must coincide with this line because they're same as one length, 1 unit. But this person, Tim, does not have it's not the same length, it's actually shorter. It's actually shorter, it's only up to here. Okay, it's only up to here. So, and I see there's 235 shorter, so I'm going to just write down here 235. Okay. All right. Okay. So let's continue. So once again, of course, I should draw this, I should cut it through. So you mix it like that. Okay, so now I'm going to just block up the question and I'm going to just look at the model alone and see, is there any information I can find based on what I've drawn? And there are, isn't it? I can see that Iskandar is 2016. Can't I find what is each of these units of each of these rectangles, each of these box? We can, right? So once I know Iskandar is 2016, I can find each of these units. So let's find it. So I'm going to just call this 1 unit. Okay, so Iskandar to find 1 unit. So to find 1 unit, will simply be 2016 split equally into 3 parts. And so 2016 split equally into 3 parts will give me 672. So I'm putting the division sign. Of course, you should do the working. You should do that working. Okay. So you should do 2016 divided by 3, right? You should do this. $672. Okay, so if I know 1 unit is 672, okay, so I'm just going to, I know 672, which means that Bruce will be 672 as well, isn't it? And if Bruce is 672, and this part here is 235, can I find what is this small rectangle? I can, right? This small rectangle, which means team, is the same as team. Okay, so this rectangle is actually team. If I can find this tick, right? This tick, which means that I will be able to find team. So let's see whether I can find team, right? To find team, it is simply, okay, 672, take away 235. Okay, so you can do working. 672, right? Minus 235, and do working. Okay, so that will give me 437. Okay, so I think I found whatever I can find based on what I've drawn. Now let's take a look at the question. How many marbles did Tim and Bruce have all together? If I know Tim is 437, Bruce is 672, right? Because Bruce is this part here. This is Bruce. And this is Bruce, which is equal to 672, right? And this is the Tim. Tim is 437. So to find Tim and Bruce, well, just right, to do Tim and Bruce, it will be just 672 plus 437. Again, you can do working. And give me 1109. Okay, notice that when I write, I try to write my equal sign in one straight line. So my answer, 1109. Okay. All right, question 5. Clear it. Ellie bought a mattress and 4 pillows. The mattress cost $769 more than the 4 pillows. She gave the cashier $1,300 and received $51 change. How much did each pillow cost? So once again, if you have not done this, please attempt it yourself. If you've done it, let's take a look. So I want to turn this word problem into a picture problem. Which sentence should we start to draw first? Should we draw from the first sentence? Or should we draw from the second sentence? The answer is we should draw from the second sentence because we want to start to draw from the question that shows us a comparison, right? Which has more, who has less, and it shows here the mattress is more. How much more? 769 more. All right, so we're going to draw from here, right? A mattress going to have a longer model, longer rectangle. On the pillows, you're going to have a shorter one. Okay, so bear in mind, this is the mattress. And at the bottom is not one pillow, it is 4 pillows. It's 4 pillows because, you know, it is it's the mattress that costs more than the 4 pillows. So it's mattress and 4 pillows. Alright? So is there any other information I need to write? Yes, it's 769. So I'm gonna add in this line here. I'm gonna cut the model with the same length, and this is the same starting point. Okay, and you can see that it is 769. I'm gonna write it down here. This is 769. I'm done with this sentence. Okay, now let's take a look at other sentences. Okay, am I able to draw? Let's go back to the first one. Okay, am I able to draw the first sentence now? Okay, Ali bought a mattress and 4 pillows. Oh, it's already shown on the diagram. But what I can do is I can cut this into 4 equal parts to indicate that there's 4 pillows. And each pillow is 1 unit each, yeah. But once again, if I do one, yeah, this 4 pillows each. I may want to cut the mattress as well into 4 equal parts, but I'm just going to leave it as such. Usually this is 4 units, and this is 1 unit each. Okay, 1 pillow is 1 unit. Okay, that's all for the first sentence. Second sentence. The third sentence says that she gave the cashier $1,300 and received $51 change. What does that mean? Oh, it means that the total amount is actually, right, 1,300 minus 51. The whole thing didn't cost 1,003. It cost less. It cost $51 less because there is a change. So which means the mattress and the 4 pillows cost about $1,249. That's the total. Okay, so we are ready to look at this. All right, so I'm just going to block up the question and look at my model. Is there anything I can find? Yes, I can, right? I can find 1 unit, isn't it? Right, looking at this part here, right, I know that this part here, which is 8 units in total, 4 plus 4 is 8 units. Okay, 8 units plus this 769 together will give me, right, 1249, isn't it? So to find the 8 units is simply 1249 take away 769. So let's find 8 units is equals to 1249 take away 769. And what is that? 1249 take away 769. And that'll give me $480. So if I know that, I can find 1 unit. So 1 unit must be 480 split equally into 8 parts. That will give me $60. So let's put in the division sign. So of course, you should be showing your working. You should be showing your working. Right, 1249 take away 7,469. It should show. Okay. Right, 480, and you should show 480 divided by 860. Or you can do this without working. You should also do that. Okay, so once I got 1 unit, that's it. I think I'm ready to look at the question now. So the question is, how much does each pillow cost? Oh, each pillow doesn't it cost 1 unit? Each pillow, 1 unit. So that's it. My answer will be $60. So make sure your final answer must have the dollar sign. That's it. Okay. All right, let's go to question 6. This review has quite a number of questions. Okay, so hang in, hang in there. If you are tired, you can just pause the video. You can watch the video later. Okay, another day also can. All right, so Hayati had 1,250 oranges. She gave away 242 and packed the rest equally into bags of 8. And she sold all the bags at $3 each. How much money did Hayati receive? So once again, you should try it on your own first. Okay, if you have tried it, let's take a look. Now, once again, we'll try to turn this word problem into a picture problem. So I will try to look for the sentence that shows comparison. Now, in the first case, does the first case shows comparison? There's only oranges, no more, no less. This one also don't have. In fact, there's nothing to compare with. There's only oranges. There's no other fruits. There's no other fruits. There's no apples and orange. There's no like orange and papaya. There's just orange alone. So there's nothing much to compare. Okay, so I won't then. Okay, then it will be a little bit difficult to do a comparison model. So let's see what I can do here. So I'm going to just try to start from the first sentence. Hayati have 1,250 oranges. Can I draw that? Without looking at other sentences, can I draw that? Yes, I can, right? So 1,250 oranges. I'm just going to draw a rectangle that represents 1,250. That's it. Okay, so that's it. And she gave away 242 oranges. So out of these oranges, she gave away 242. Go to give away, I'm going to strike off a little bit. Bearing in mind that when I strike off, I can still see the number written inside. I have to strike off so color whole thing and you cannot see a number. Then she packed the rest of the oranges equally into 8 bags. So I'm going to cut here into 8 bags. So I'm going to cut here into 2. Okay. 8 bags. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 bags. That's it. And she sold all the bags at $3 each. So each bag that will be $3. $3 each. Oh, sorry, she didn't. Oh, sorry, I'm so sorry. I'm wrong. So she didn't sell it. Pack it into 8 bags. She packed it into bags of 8. Sorry, so into bags of 8. So I will not draw this thing here. It doesn't show into bags of 8. How does it show bags of 8? Okay, that means you're going to put this into 8, 8. Okay, dot. Okay, bags of 8. I don't know how many bags, but each one is sold at $3. Dot. Okay. All right. So that's all the thing I can draw out. So I'm gonna just again now block off the question and just stare at my picture model. Is there anything I can find? Yes, I can. Right? And if I know that this is 1250, I've given away 242. Is 242? I can't. Yeah, 242. Yes, correct. Okay, 242. So I can find how much oranges are left here, right? So to find number of oranges left, okay, so the oranges left will be 1250, take away 242, right? What does that give me? 1008, right? I can do working for that. So if I know this oranges left is 1008, and I put it equally into groups of 8, or I put it equally into groups of 8, how many groups are there? Yeah, to find how many groups of 8 are there? It's a division, right? So the number of groups is equals to, all right, so how many groups of 8 are there? How many groups of 8 are there? How many groups of 8 are there? Is 1008. How many groups of 8 will be 126 groups. 126 groups of 8. And each groups, right? Each packet is sold at $3 each, right? So I will know how much is collected. So the money collected, I can find that money collected is 126 packets, right? 126 group, each one is sold at $3. Well, that will give me $378. Okay, so this is what I can find looking at this picture. I'm going to clear screen. You see, oh, how much money did Haryati receive? It's just simply 398. No, 378. Okay, so of course you should be doing working at the side. You should be showing your working at the side, right? How you do 1250 minus 242. You should do that. Okay, so 1008 divided by 2. You should do that. Wait, but not divide 8. What thing? Should divide by 4. Sorry. So it should be divided by 4. Okay, 4 times 2, 8. If I do it correctly? 1008 divided by, how am I divided by 4? Oh my god, it's divided by 8. I must be tired. What am I dividing by? Yeah, it should be divided by 8. Am I tired? I think I'm just drawing too much. I'm keep writing the wrong thing all the time. It is 8. 1, 2, 16. 16. Okay, then you can do the 1 to 6 times by 3. Okay, so that's the working at the side. All right, that's all for this question. Let me see how many questions are there more. There's question 7, 8, 9. Oh, 10, 7, 8, and then there's 3 more questions. Okay, I'm just going to carry on. I'm going to finish this. Okay, so a grocer had 40 crates of tomato. Each crate contained 124 tomatoes. She threw away 24 rotten and repacked the rest into bags of 8. Okay, how many bags are there? So once again, you try it. If you have tried it, let's try to draw it. Right, each grocer has 40 crates. and each crate contain 1 to 4. Do I need to draw this thing?